Yeah. Okay. Lil CC on the beat. Yeah. I mean, where the fuck should I really even start? I got hoes that I'm keeping in the dark. I got my niggas cross the street living large. Thinking back to the fact that they dead, thought my raps wasn't facts, so they sat with the bars. I got 2 phones, one need a charge. Yeah, they twins, I could tell they ass apart. I got big packs coming on the way. I got big stacks coming out to save. Got Lil Max with me, he the wave. It's a big gap between us in the game. In the next life, I'm trying to stay paid. When I die, put my money in the grave. When I die, put my money in the grave. I really gotta put a couple niggas in their place. Really just left every nigga in a race. I really might tap this nigga on my face. Lil CC, let it slap with the bass. I used to save hoes with a mask and a cave. Now I'm like, nah, love, I'm good, go away. Ain't about to die with no money, I done gave it. I was on top when that shit meant a lot. Still on top, like I'm scared of the drop. Still on top, and these niggas wanna swap. Niggas wanna swap like it's sauce in a watch. I don't wanna change cause I'm good where I'm at. Mob tie, so I'm always good where I'm at. Word to Junior, Jazzy, Baby J. Tell them when I die, put my money in the crack.
Couple figures, killers call and collect. She fuck a nigga, then she on to the next. Really living large, she ain't all with a Mac. When you niggas think it's small in the mall with a rat. Roll with us if you really wanna get it. Go get a $500,000 in the sprinter. Phone ringing, bitches know a big tipple. I got the hook up and there really no limit. Dead bigger than you nigga DNA. Ricky Smile is indicated with a yay. Little nigga just another state case. Bury my motherfucking Chase Bank trying to bounce. Gotta count on my allowance. You niggas snitching, so I gotta reroute it. A nigga tripping like I got $1 zillion. Got the truck drumming like Jane when I'm beating out in the mouth. Then I never talk about it. The homie squad, but we all smoke the loudest. Rich niggas in the middle being modest. Cause the world do my deals never treated like an artist with a house. You could DM my account. My DM 6 figures and I'm counting. 9 figures was the goal till I hear that these niggas ain't living. So bury mine with me, cross the guy.
When I die, put my money in the grave. I really gotta put a couple niggas in their place. Really just left every nigga in a race. I really might tap this nigga on my face. Lil CC, let it slap with the bass. I used to save hoes with a mask in a cave. Now I'm like, nah, love, I'm good, go away. Ain't about to die with no money I done gave.
It's coming to a close. I guess I should know that I'm never gonna see you again in a place that sells vintage clothes. I guess you should know that it hasn't been the easiest years for a band of living in the throes. And then I see a smile between repetitive aisles of flannel shirts, and I thought you would show like a beautiful ghost caught in a saving throw. And I don't even care that it's over, and I don't even care. It's coming to a, I guess I should know that the softest every phase, the words remain as shown in the summer snow. Well, it hasn't been the easiest years in a life that hasn't let you go. And then I see a smile between repetitive aisles of well-worn dirt, and I thought you would show, I thought you would show, I thought you would show, and I don't even care that it's over, and I don't even care there's a wall. I won't ever look back for answers, and I won't ever look back at all. coming to a close. It's coming to a
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is another episode of Nerdy Live in the Morning with the very special Sunday show, Sunday Fun Day. Listen, guys, there's some important things involving a Sunday morning. That's God, football, and Nerdy Live. Welcome to Nerdy Live, the best morning show in commentary. And boy, do we have some fun stuff today. We got internet adjacent calling into a Falgi stream. We have actually this is a update on an old Nerdy Live story involving a crypto bro who was trying to sue another commentary YouTuber. And then we got some smaller stuff here and there involving iDubbbz, and then we also have a certain music YouTuber that used to be commentary, and now everyone's making fun of for their choice of style. Let's say choice of style. And then we also have a little bit of an update on the Mizkif situation, guys. By the way, if you ever want to get an update on when I go live, follow me on Twitter, and if you become a member, you can join the Discord server, and you'll be notified every time I go live in there. But I wanted to showcase this real quick. After his long break from streaming, by the way, long break, what has it been, like a month? After his long break from streaming, Twitch streamer Mizkif returns and announces his girlfriend is having a baby.
How she told me she's pregnant.
That's the look of, oh Christ, I gotta make her fall down a flight of stairs. look at that look.
How she told
he's joking that he's gonna be a bad dad, but in reality he's gonna try to be a good dad. But I don't know. I don't know about that one, buddy. I don't know about that one. God forbid if it's not a prank, right? God forbid if it's not a prank, because hypothetically this could all just be a prank to like get attention and views, right? But if it's not a prank, and she does have a kid, and it is his, right? How fucked is that kid, right? You got some fucking moron from New Jersey as your goddamn dad. I feel bad for that kid. God, I would like, okay, so like, if you had to be the son or the daughter of a famous person, right? Would you want to go like full on like movie star, or would you want your parent to be an influencer? Right? Cuz like, I mean, like influencer, like it's a medium amount of fame, right? So like your parents aren't going to get as recognized, and like you're still kind of rich depending on the situation. I mean, unfortunately being an influencer is kind of like a tricky business. You could be rich one year and broke the next year and be homeless, but like also too, if people know about your parents, right? I feel like it's slightly more embarrassing than like, oh, my dad starred in this movie, right? Also, too, if you're the kid of a movie star, and if they were smart with their money, they're gonna be rich. Then you won't have to work, like they won't have to work for like years, right? In reality, that child support is most than most will get in their lives. Oh yeah, true. I mean, they even decided to do like the whole like child support route, right? The whole child support route. Who knows? Maybe they'll have to go to court over that. But yeah, there's that. And then also too, there's this clip from Caleb Hammer. If you guys don't know who he is, he runs like a financial audit podcast where he has people come on and he evaluates their financial situation and like tells them what they can do to like fix their situation. He's had a couple of internet celebrities on, like most infamous one that I can remember is Boogie. And I guess he's been following the iDubbbz and Anisha situation. And I guess they blocked him. the tweet reads as, "We know for a fact he is broke because my realtor is interested in some of the drama things. For they put in a lot of money into renovating. I don't know how they're bringing an income right now. They don't get views." All right, let's listen to that.
I follow a lot of people. So, but either way, we know for a fact he is broke because my realtor, who I'm not going to out, is, he's interested in some of the drama things, and we knew that they were trying to sell their house in the Seattle area, and they put a lot of money into renovating the house we saw, and they listed it for only slightly above what they bought it for a few years back.
Oh no. Only slightly above what they originally bought it for. So yeah, they're that would be a loss, right? Because I imagine they put in a lot more money than just slightly more than what they originally bought it for.
And they had to keep dropping it by 50,000, 50,000, 50.
No way. Okay, so I've in terms of this drama, this aspect of the drama, I've not kept up with it whatsoever. But I'm sorry, they've been having to drop it by 50,000 a lot. Oh my god.
50,000. Eventually, before it was taken off the market, I don't know if it was sold, but it was at least
Taken off the. Oh no.
taken off the market.
Dude, no one wants the house. No one wants the house after iDubbbz and Nisha have done what they've done with it. Guys, believe it or not, I know how to speak. I is human. I speak good English.
I think it was at least 100,000 below what they bought it for after
No way.
putting hundreds of thousands into a renovation.
Yikes.
They're broke. They are broke, and I don't know how they're bringing in income right now because they don't get views.
Well,
They don't
there's
get
always
views.
there's always an open seat in this office for Mr. iDubbbz if he wants to come in.
Yeah, come in. I'm not going to be hostile towards you. Come in. I
Extreme.
I know you're far left, and I don't really like extremism on either side. That's just really not me. But yeah, come in. Let's talk. I think his wife does OF, so maybe that's how they bring in some money.
Love how the clip ends there. Love how the interest would kill that profit. Yeah. No, yeah, and he just said that they had to lower it down to 100,000. And they're living with her parents. They're I think they're taking care of her dad, right? Because her dad's getting up there in years. I think he's suffering from some issues. I'm not trying to make fun of them for that. I want to make it clear if they want to help out. iDubbbz wants to help out his in-laws and Anisha, her parents. Good on them. Not a lot of people would do that for their parents as they get older in years. But I mean, it's not. Let's be honest. It's not an ideal situation, right? I mean, realistically speaking, right? So they would live. I think at this point now, it's clear that they were living off of the money iDubbbz was given throughout the years on Content Cop, right? They've been living off of that. Creator Clash, I think, was their big gamble on making sure they had a lifetime of money, right? It was a sink or swim thing for them. And unfortunately, I think they meandered a bit too much. Right? I think, because, I mean, for one, the galas, you did not need to do the galas. You did not need to rent out these massive stadiums, which realistically you were not going to fill. It was just unfortunate that, they put themselves in this situation. I'm not even going to say it's because of their politics, right? I mean, because there are people like Hassan Piker, not exactly, and their politics don't exactly align, but Destiny, I mean, he's considered he is pretty far left, but not as far left as Hassan. But there are people in that sphere on the internet that make money, right? So it wasn't entirely impossible for them. Honestly, should have just done a crypto scam. Funny you say that. Funny you say that, because that is the next topic. Would have been less hated and more profitable, right? Well, what would they have called the token, right? know what? Lean into it. They would have called it the cuck coin. Unless that's already a thing. I feel like if that's not already a thing, I feel like they would have called it the cuck coin. You know, because like their whole thing is like leaning into the meme of iDubbbz being a cuck, right? So they definitely would have done like a cuck coin, maybe she ruined my life coin, you know, something along those lines. Definitely would have done something like that. But speaking of crypto bros, we have a sort of a update on a story from a couple years ago. Actually, I remember this bringing this to Dave when I was still his producer back in the day. Atozi, a crypto millionaire who sued me, is now facing 15 years in prison. So I'm curious on F Slur coin. There we go. There we go. So as you can see, this is our millionaire crypto guy here. As you can see, he's doing well with his life. Let's listen, shall we?
Do I have your attention now? This former multimillionaire crypto YouTuber has completely destroyed his life over the last couple of years to the point where he's become almost unrecognizable. The dude went from being a married decamillionaire with a family, flexing his Lamborghini while suing me for calling him out for scamming his audience, to now whatever this is. Because within
dude. Oh my god, man. He looks like a crazy homeless guy. Does he not? Does he not look like a crazy homeless guy in that picture? That looks like the type of homeless guy that would shiv you for your last like $2.
In a year of suing me, his entire empire started collapsing, including his Lambo being taken away from his business partner. Then he was arrested outside of his business partner's house with his mistress when he showed up to steal his Lamborghini back. Then he got out of jail, got divorced, started touring the world with his mistress, and even fighting in a few boxing matches.
He fought in boxing matches? Who else was he fighting? Was he fighting other 60-year-olds? Is there an old man boxing league?
Divorced, started touring the world with his mistress, and even fighting in a few boxing matches. She ended up dumping him, and then he dropped this manifesto. And eventually,
oh god, he dropped a manifesto? He dropped
ended up in jail and is now facing 15 years in prison. At this point, it seems like he's lived like multiple lifetimes in the span of like 3 years. And to be honest, I didn't expect this to go downhill as quickly because, again, all of this happened in like 3 years. So meet Ben Armstrong, or BitBoy Crypto. Many of you guys would recognize him as the dude who sued me for defamation a few years ago.
So I just got some stuff for you.
Oh, what is it?
I don't know. It's just a box.
I don't need it.
Well, you've been served early.
What are you doing? So yeah.
Yeah, dude, was there ever an, oh my god, I completely forgot to keep updated on whether or not they won the lawsuit or not. I think the lawsuit ended up getting dropped for another reason. He looks like he lives with his mom, but she cut off his allowance.
I have officially
me when my mom doesn't give me a dollar for candy.
been sued.
Why did he do that? Well, because I made a video about his video on this token called Pamp, where he literally said, this coin can only go up. So I called him out for scamming his audience after that coin rug pulled. He obviously didn't like that, so he sent me a cease and desist to delete the video. I completely ignored that, and then, a few months later, he ended up suing me. And to me, and this is my opinion, it seemed like he wanted to sue me to drain me for as much money as possible because he wanted to get back at me because I made this video on him. And again, this is because he didn't like a video of mine where I called him out for scamming his audience. So I guess his brilliant idea was to sue me, which backfired on him because I didn't want to surrender to a scammer. So I decided to make him suing me as public as possible because he didn't want this public at all. Because at the end of the day, he didn't have a case. And I wanted to make sure that
that's
people...
right. I think he obviously Atozi, being a YouTuber, fucking makes a video on him being sued, right? And I think, okay, if I remember correctly, the guy then was like trying to back off the loss.
People knew that he was being paid to bring retail investors into awful investments. So I decided to make a response and raise funds to fight this. But at the time, I felt like that original video I made on him could cause me some sort of like Interstellar moment where that one move cost me 52 years, or maybe instead of 52 years, cost me like, I don't know, 5 to 10 years of my life. Because if I somehow lost that suit, had to pay for his attorneys, pay my attorney's fees, and whatever damages he decided to claim, that could have been a disgusting amount of money. I would still be paying that off to this day. Because I was hearing this could cost me anywhere from like, you know, $50,000 all the way into the millions. So, awesome. Thankfully, we dodged that bullet because of you guys. Because in the US, unfortunately, you can keep appealing and delaying a suit, and that will then cost the person way more money. And meanwhile, the dude is out here flexing his lavish lifestyle and claiming to be worth over $10 million. But thanks to all of you guys, and specifically Kobe, who donated over $100,000, combined, we raised about $250,000 overnight. And, you know, just over 24 hours later, BitBoy then decided to drop the lawsuit. Because, in my opinion, he just assumed that it wouldn't financially hurt me anymore, and it became too public. He wanted this hidden. Again, this is my opinion for why he dropped that lawsuit. Who knows what really happened, though? But that really does set the bar for the kind of person that we're dealing here today. And unfortunately for Big Ben here, the clock was really ticking because, you know, since the last time I covered him on this channel, things have gotten so much worse for him. And this whole story is just so deeply interconnected from start to finish that skipping even one single part can throw everything off. It's just like the classic butterfly effect. Overlook one shady detail of him and suddenly half of it doesn't make sense. It's just like a bad domino effect. That's essentially his career, specifically the last 3 years. Back to when things were going really well for Ben, he managed to build
Like, there's no way you can be like a long-term crypto YouTuber, right? There's just no way you can maintain that. I would find it extremely hard to believe that, like I get it, you know. Oh, wait, what the fuck? Hang on, I'm being called for whatever reason. about that. Jesus. That took long. That was a phone call that was longer than it needed to be. Sorry about that. But let's continue on where we left off. I am sorry about that, guys.
Himself into one of the most recognizable faces in the influencer crypto space. I mean, and I've always thought that he came across as a massive grifter, but apparently there are a lot of impressionable people out there, as the guy was pulling in hundreds of thousands of viewers listening to him talk about what digital coin would make them rich. And his whole brand was built around the idea that
So like what was that guy on like MSNBC? Because like there was this stocks guy on MSNBC that would talk about like stocks constantly. Is he just that for like crypto bros? Coffee kicked in, and then he shared his experience for those just joining. Wookie Z, that's evil. That's evil. That's evil, man. Sorry, I had to take a phone call.
he was just some regular dude who figured out the crypto game. And 5 times a week, Ben would go live to his massive audience, breaking down various cryptocurrency projects, discussing coins like, I don't know, Pamp coin, the only coin that can go up only, and basically everything from there to Bitcoin. Essentially, it seems like he covered absolutely everything, from these scams to the more reputable projects. And a big gimmick of his channel was that traditional finance was corrupt, and crypto, that
Yeah, the crypto is the way. Crypto is the way, guys.
was your real path to financial freedom. Essentially, it was kind of like, see this Lamborghini? My Lamborghini in my garage here. Yeah, that wasn't just a car for him. It was pretty much, you know, sold as proof that his system worked, which also is most likely why he was so attached to it. Also, side note, he was definitely the best dressed influencer I have ever seen. Because, I mean, you have to be a special kind of person to
It looks like he's wearing like a modified Russian tracksuit. Am I the only one saying that? It looks like a modified Russian tracksuit.
rock a full Gucci tracksuit and stunt like this in front of a Lamborghini. There is no self-awareness here, but hey, power to him. But he wasn't always the Lambo stunting Gucci tracksuit wearing guy, because he also came from humble beginnings. Because he would tell people about his past struggles with substance abuse back in the early 2000s, how he got clean, how he went to Christian college, and even married his admissions counselor. He explored various business ventures, including graphic design and running a car wash, all in his search for his calling. But then he discovered digital currencies, or cryptocurrency. And it seems like he really started to rake it in when he found out he could use platforms to promote crypto coins. So when the pandemic hit in 2020, Ben really leveled up his operation. He invested in a professional studio setup, hired a production team, and started cranking out as much crypto content as possible. And for a while, it seemed
He just looks like someone's dad.
like nothing could stop him, because at the height of the crypto bubble, Ben claimed his portfolio had around $40 million in various cryptocurrencies. But as we later on found out, it turns out that a lot of those assets weren't technically in Ben's name. They belonged to a company called BJ Investment Holdings that he shared with his business partner TJ Shed.
Oh, do I sense a business falling out? Do I sense a business falling out, ladies and gentlemen?
But at the time, this wasn't something he disclosed to his audience. So to me, it seemed like while TJ handled all the business operations, Ben was essentially the face of the brand. And in 2023, Ben landed a reported $1 million a month sponsorship deal with Stake, an online casino that enables cryptocurrency gambling. But even when Ben was way up on his high horse, there were some clear warning signs. Because the dude kept promoting coins that tanked immediately after he posted his video, and then you had all the allegations towards him not properly disclosing if he was actually sponsored by this coin or not. And not disclosing at paid financial partnerships, that's a big no-no, especially when you're indirectly promoting investment advice. But obviously, it was all branded as not financial advice. So that was his get out of jail free card. Ironically, he's facing some serious time for not this whatsoever. So going back quickly to 2022, Ben posted on Reddit saying, let's be clear, I'm not going to prison. Maybe some fine one day based on shifting security laws. Yeah, looking back, that comment aged about as well as you would expect, since he clearly should have been more worried about himself rather than regulations.
What if I told you there's a project guaranteed to increase in price? I know you would probably want to jump in, but I'm sure the first thought you would have would be, wait a second, that doesn't sound right.
I got a letter from the SEC last night. Don't know how long it had been sitting, waiting for me to get back. Gary Gensler has now came knocking at my door. Very scared, Gary. I'm very scared. I will start.
That is the ugliest outfit I have ever seen. Just That is someone's dad trying to be cool.
By giving you my reaction to the SEC letter from Gary Gensler. That's my reaction.
Because, I mean, you know, the fact that his whole PAMP promotion was legal is just wild to me. But, I mean, we're also in 2025 where everyone and their grandmother has launched a meme coin at this point. So, I don't think everyone's going to get arrested anytime soon. I digress. So, going back to the timeline here, over time, people started realizing, hey, there's some changes with Ben's personality. TJ, who is probably the person closest to Ben's business operations, said in an interview that Ben lost track of the person that he used to be. He caused enormous damage to both his professional and personal relationships. Then in May of 2023, during the time when the crypto market was really struggling, to put it lightly, Ben decided to launch his own meme coin called Ben Coin. Or, well, he didn't actually launch this coin. This coin was launched by another Ben called Ben.eth, who is also a questionable figure in the space, to put it lightly. And Ben kind of did this like weird corporate takeover of this meme coin. My understanding is he invested.
Wait, okay, so like he just took over the. There's already a coin named Ben Coin, and Ben was just like, I'll just buy it out.
A large amount of money into it and try to like run it up to his followers. And he worked on this with someone by the name of Cassandra, who was working as a contractor for his company and had actually been pretty valuable to his operation, because she was apparently one of the people who helped secure this massive stake sponsorship deal. But Ben's staff thought this meme coin idea was absolutely terrible. Let's just say they could see it for what it was, a shameless cash grab that would make Ben look like a complete sellout. Which is absolutely wild that that's where they drew the line, because he was doing all sorts of crazy stuff before then, including suing me. Like, how did they not see that was going to be a bad idea? Obviously, I'm biased here, but still. What about PAMP? Like, there's so many projects he's promoted that would...
Well, it's like... No, I definitely... Because, like... I don't know, looking at it as from like his staff's perspective, right? He's just doing like the, oh, well, okay, here's like the latest coin you gotta promote, right? But then you do a coin called Ben Coin, right? Like, imagine if I would never do like a crypto thing, right? But like, imagine if like suddenly I was like, yo guys, we're sponsored by John Coin, the latest cryptocurrency, John Coin. Like, come on, it is like the slimiest of slimy sellouts. You get what I'm saying?
Would be like a terrible idea, but they went along with that. Well, they drew the line on the meme coin. But let me make it extremely clear. I don't think a meme coin is a good idea whatsoever for him, nor do I think it's a good idea now. I think anyone who launches a meme coin right now is making a serious mistake. Obviously, sites like Pump Fun have completely normalized it, but either way, I do not think it's a good idea to essentially be a facilitator of speculation and gambling, especially if you have a public brand and image and reputation to maintain. But this is where things got kind of dicey, because Ben was still married to his wife Bethany Armstrong at this time, and they had 3 young kids together. So not only was he making questionable business decisions, but he was also destroying his personal life in the process, as TJ said himself. And the staff didn't want the BitBoy channel associated to Ben Coin at all. And by August of 2023, the situation had deteriorated to the point where Ben's own business partners decided they needed to remove him from the company entirely. So Hit Network, the parent company of BJ Investment Holdings, essentially executed a corporate coup to strip Ben's control of the BitBoy crypto brand. And I think this was also a questionable idea because, you know, they built the entire brand around this guy. So yeah. So
yeah, it's not like you didn't build it as network, you build it as it's this guy's channel. If maybe you had like 1 or 2 other like network hosts for the channel, it might have been a better transition. But like if the whole branding is around him and his personality, and it turns out he never owned the channel to begin with, that's a yikes.
So TJ Shed apparently used a clause in their operating agreement that allowed him to actually buy out Ben's stake in the business. And this effectively cut him out of everything they'd built together. And this, I guess, leads us to the most symbolic moment in Ben's downfall, where he lost the Lamborghini that had become synonymous with his success story.
No fucking way. The crypto YouTuber Ben Armstrong, formerly known as as BitBoy, by the way, like well over 40 years old, calling himself BitBoy, has sued former colleagues over an alleged stolen Lamborghini and alleged racketeering activities involving threats and conspiracy to deprive him of the vehicle, according to a filing in Cobb County, Georgia.
Story. And this whole situation was so unbelievably insane that I didn't believe, like, when you went live with this situation, I just had to go live because it was just unbelievable for me. But TLDR, Ben decided to bring his side chick to his business partner's house and get his Lamborghini back while he was live streaming, and apparently had a firearm in the car as well. So, you know, that was just unbelievable. Obviously, the police were called because he also ding-dong ditched Carlos while live streaming. There was like a whole plethora of things that were just like, what is going on here? And naturally, he was arrested. And this is where this infamous moment happened where the police asked him, who is in the car? And you saw he did not want to answer that because he remembered he was live streaming this himself. So this was being broadcasted for the entire world to see, or well, at least the whole crypto community to see. And he had publicly apologized to his wife and to his business partners previously, saying that he's all in it for them. He's focused on his family and he's going to get better.
And then he's got his mistress sitting right next to him. For fuck's sake.
Then he admits that his side piece is in the car with him as he's acting incredibly manic outside of his business partner's house, claiming he's going to, you know, get his Lambo back. I am still shocked that was a moment on the internet that actually happened, because I cover a lot of insane stuff.
Right, and I think the reason why the Lambo is so important is because the Lambo, like, it's not even just that, oh, it's an expensive car, it's a nice car, right? Like, it's like, he used that as like, this is to prove how successful I am, that I have this Lambo, and that this is proof that, like, I'm an expert in the crypto world, and you have to listen to me because look at my Lamborghini. As soon as he loses that, like, for him, he loses his credibility, his ego takes a massive fucking hit, and it's hilarious.
Up here, little did I know that was going to happen. Like, if I go back to what, 2022, I think I made that video. No, 2021. I think I made my first video on BitBoy in 2021 about his whole PAMP thing. Little did I know that video would then slowly turn into this big of a story. So when I made that video on him, I thought he was just gonna be, you know, just another crypto scumbag. Little did I know he was going to become basically the largest crypto scumbag and then have one of the craziest downfalls of all time in an extremely short amount of time. But just to give you, I guess, the quick TLDR of that case, in case you don't remember the full details, there was a crypto investor by the name of Carlos Diaz. Carlos is apparently a huge BitBoy fan since the beginning, and somehow he convinced Ben to sign over the title of the Lamborghini to him. So that didn't make
no fucking way
sense whatsoever. From what I could find on Twitter and so on, the internet was saying that Carlos' version of the story was that he had invested heavily into Ben coin based on Ben's promotion. Apparently he lost a whole bunch of money when the coin crashed and wanted the car's compensation. I don't know if that's true or not, but it sounds questionable, to put it lightly. Then you have Ben's version of the events, is that Carlos showed up claiming to represent Hit Network and was trying to help the company raise emergency funds, also mentioning that he felt physically intimidated into signing over the title of the Lamborghini. Whatever the real story was, Ben ended up driving to Carlos's house with Cassandra, live streaming the entire confrontation to his audience. And
why did he need his mistress there to begin with, right? Like, why bring her along? Because, like, okay, like, even if you're not live streaming this, right? And, like, your business partner knows your wife. Your business partner can just call your wife and be like, hey, he's with his mistress. And then there you go. You fucking lost half your shit. They're like, oh my fucking god, dude.
What's also important is not only did he live stream everything, he also, you know, publicly doxed Carlos's address and ended up getting arrested on camera.
This is where Carlos lives, guys. I am live streaming from Carlos's house. Carlos has my Lamborghini right here in his garage. I'm gonna be live streaming.
You think his mistress was like, no, I'm not fucking you unless you had the Lamborghini. You think that was it? You think because she sees this like fat grain old dude, right? And she's like, "No, I'm not fucking you unless you got the Lambo."
And I'm going to be telling the entire story of Carlos Diaz, who Carlos Diaz is. I'm going to be talking about all the people he's affiliated with. I'm going to be talking about how he got into my building. I'm going to talk about all of it. I'm not scared of you, Carlos. Sorry, I reached too fast. I'm sorry. Sorry.
How long was he out there for? Because like, okay, it's starting to get dark out in this.
Okay.
Put your phone down.
Okay.
Put your phone down.
Okay. I'll put the phone down. Okay.
Put the phone.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay.
Put the Bob's like, put the fucking phone down.
Put the phone down.
Put the fanny pack down.
Okay.
What's going on?
What's going on? This man inside of this house.
Actually, he's gonna check you real quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just the weapons.
I'm sorry. I have a. Okay. Okay. Yep.
He's looking at the camera too. He's making sure he's in frame for this. What a fucking clout goblin.
No weapons.
So when this case went to court, the judge ruled in Carlos's favor, and the reasoning was pretty straightforward. The judge determined that Ben couldn't prove the vehicle was his personal property rather than a company asset. So the Lamborghini that Ben had used as his ultimate symbol of his crypto success might have never belonged to him in the first place. So apparently the company could have just owned the car all along. And while Ben was fighting all these legal battles, it's safe to say his personal life was definitely struggling. And with his business empire essentially collapsing on him, he decided to start over. He launched a brand new YouTube channel called Ben Armstrong Crypto, which is now called BitBoyX. And this, I guess, was an attempt to rebuild his brand. But the response was somewhat mixed, to say the least, because at this point, people were watching more out of curiosity of his downfall than, you know, in genuine interest to his advice. Because he's been, how do we even put this? At the time of all of this going down, he kind of painted himself as a complete crash out. So he's not really proving himself as the person to go to for crypto investment advice. Because I mean, let's be real. If you watch his actions, it's not like you're gonna go, "Oh, I'm gonna trust this guy's opinion with my money."
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna trust the mentally deranged dude with my investments. Yeah, that sounds like a bright idea.
Because I mean, at this point, he just seemed manic and insane. And I don't think anyone wants to trust the opinion or trust anyone who's manic and insane with their money. So it's just a massive uphill battle for Ben to rebuild.
Guys, it has been a rough couple weeks. I think everybody sees what I've been through. And I just want you guys to know that I love you and I appreciate you, and you have a new name. Your name used to be the Bit Squad. But the Bit Squad goes away with the BitBoy Crypto channel. BitBoy as a name for me is dead. I am now Ben Armstrong, which is my name. And I gotta be honest with you. Certainly the branding with BitBoy was great. But the thing is, being a 40-year-old man, about to be 41 here soon, and having people call you BitBoy, it's a little weird. And so from now on, BitBoy is dead. The Bit Squad is dead. Ben Armstrong is here. And Ben Nation, that is our community.
Ben, oh my fucking god, Ben Nation. I think that's even cringier. Ben Nation sounds like something that was like made up in like pre-2015 internet.
But Ben kept insisting that he was the victim of some elaborate corporate conspiracy, but at this point, considering what we know, viewers weren't very sympathetic towards this narrative. Meanwhile, his legal problems kept accumulating and he's already burned through more than $150,000 on lawyers.
$150,000. Jesus.
And had lost a significant chunk of his assets. And obviously, when the news of Ben's affair with Cassandra first broke, he and his wife Bethany made a video where they both pledged to work.
Girl, honey, girl, you can do so much better
on their marriage and, you know, keep their family together. And that's the video I mentioned previously. And in October, Bethany filed for divorce. So by the end of 2023, Ben had lost pretty much.
Whose idea do you think it was to make that video, by the way? Do you think he like, honey, you said we were working on the marriage, right? So why not announce that to my audience so they know I'm a good guy?
much everything: his company, his brand, his marriage, his car, and most of his money. And that's pretty much where we were up to, because throughout 2024, other than the efforts of, trying to rebuild his audience, things were relatively quiet on the Ben Armstrong front. Everything up until now that we've discussed in this video has happened roughly 2 years ago. But then February of 2025 rolled around and
Oh, go ahead, my girls. Thank you for renewing your membership. What is John covering? I'm covering a crypto story. And it's actually an update on a story that we covered a few years ago, actually. Oh, what the heck? Oh, I'm being called again. 1 second. 1 second, folks. All right, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. Some gay bear using his mustache for content. What the fuck? No, he's not gay. He's got a mistress.
everything exploded in the most diabolical yet tragic way. Because I guess in between that, he started a boxing career where he was doing these crypto influencer boxing matches. That's pretty much it though. But then February of 2025 came around, and it's safe to say a whole lot of stuff just got flared up, because on February 11th, 2025, Ben posted a now deleted tweet that would turn out to be a preview of his complete mental breakdown. He wrote, "Hit network for 18 months has destroyed my life. TJ Shed has willfully targeted me. Congratulations to him. Cassie and I broke up today. The day I start telling the story. I'm willing to lose Cassie, my lawyers, my kids, my audience, my channel, and
Oh, I'm sure when his kids see that, they're gonna be like, yeah, yay, daddy's willing to lose us. What the fuck?
my life before I'm willing to die without people knowing what actually happened." That tweet, I guess, was a warning shot aimed at everyone he blamed for his situation, because 3 days later, on Valentine's Day, he followed through on his threat in the most unhinged way possible. Then started a live stream called BitBoy_Manifesto, which he opened by literally screaming at everyone.
Do I have your attention now? Do I have it?
Oh my fucking god, look at this guy. He's angry. He's angry, chat.
You're gonna listen to my demands. I will make them at the end.
Which is possibly...
You will listen to my demands. I will make them at the end.
one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life. Again, I mean, it's all downhill. The dude started falling down that staircase in 2023, and he is still falling down that staircase today. And at one point while going through this entire manifesto, it became very clear that this was written by ChatGPT, so that's interesting as well. However, though, he never really made any demand by the end of the stream. He just seemed defeated, and it's honestly pretty sad to watch. The whole broadcast lasted nearly 4 hours and was filled with bizarre accusations, contradictory statements, sensitive topics, and moments where Ben seemed to forget what he was even talking about halfway through his sentence. Overall, it was just a complete dumpster fire of a stream. Like, the whole thing didn't make sense. He would have been so much better if he never did that. He would have been so much better if he never did a whole bunch of things that he did. But again, it keeps getting worse, because early in the stream, he made it clear that his entire life had been focused on one goal: getting revenge on his former business partners and reclaiming the BitBoy brand.
My entire life is dedicated to shutting that channel down. That's when this is over. The day Discover Crypto is shut down and I get my brand, BitBoy Crypto, given back to me.
Buddy, that shit.
Dude, can you imagine just like his former business partners and their lawyers looking at this? Can you imagine just like, yo, like, I just like, can you, like, this has to be like a slam dunk case for them, right? Damn, that had me raising my eyebrows, lol. You will listen to my demands. What do you have someone held hostage? Yeah, I don't think he's in the position to like be listing demands. Dude, you're on the losing side.
Ship has sailed. But shortly after that statement, he went on to talk about being framed for stealing $27 million.
In order to try to get me in trouble for their crimes. This is a true story, guys. I'm going to say this, and this is hard. It's going to be hard for my kids. It's hard for my ex-wife. The fact is, I'm not trying to play victim. If I would have gone back to Bethany, I would have stayed in that basement, and I would have made videos like they told me to. These guys were actively and still are actively, along with George Koenig and Justin Odell, trying to frame me for stealing $27 million that these guys stole in the beginning. Not only did they steal my money, they wanted to fucking send me to prison.
But I feel like one of the more concerning parts of this first hour and a half came when he described being forced to see a psychiatrist who diagnosed him with dissociative identity disorder, narcissistic personality disorder, manic depression, ADHD, and supposedly 74 different conditions total. Ben's response to this professional evaluation was apparently to attack the doctor personally and claim that all his problems would magically disappear once his enemies were removed from the internet.
The doctor that Brandy DeSwanee had forced me to go see, by the way. When I said I didn't want to see that doctor, I went and saw another doctor. And then they said, no, that doctor's not good. You have to go see this one. So I went and saw this guy, Dr. Howard Drutman. What a disappointment of a human being he is. This guy, after all I'm about to go through with you here, said I'm multi-personality. He says I'm, he didn't say schizophrenic, but he said narcissistic. He said I am manic, depressed, ADHD, this, 74 different things. But you know what he didn't say? Anything about my trauma. He didn't say anything about my PTSD of what I've been through. Nothing. You know what his suggestion was? He needs to stop smoking pot and get on more prescription drugs. That's why I gave him 9 things. You, Randy, my old lawyer, the worst lawyer of all time. Randy, I don't know why you hate me.
Guys, can you tell? Can you tell he's manic? Can you tell? Can you tell that, guys? I can't tell. Can you?
You're going to find what was done to me is real. And once this trauma is removed and Discover Crypto is shut down, my life goes back to normal immediately. My level goes from here. Wow, everything's fine again. These people have to be removed from the internet.
Suddenly, the lawsuit towards me is starting to make a little bit more sense. But after this, Ben started pushing his luck as he displayed an attorney's website on screen and explicitly told his audience to contact her and tell her how they felt about her not letting him see his kids.
This is her website.
Oh my God, no. No, bro. Oh, he's never seen them kids again. He's not seeing them kids again. Oh no.
To let her know what you guys think about her not letting me see my kids. It's been 6 weeks since Christmas. I got to see them one time. I can't even give them their Christmas gifts. My son's jersey is the biggest thing. I haven't been able to give it to him. My wife won't cooperate. And also, Brandy DeSwanee will not cooperate. Nobody will cooperate to let me see my children. I get to talk to them for 10 minutes every 2 weeks. And why am I getting drug tests? Because my wife, Bethany, reported to the court that I asked on Twitter whether people believe that I was doing or not. And the reason I asked, because I was using for evidence for the case for things I'm doing right now. So I've been having to take drug tests ever since. Thanks, Bethany. I never wanted it to be this way between us.
Which is just so sad. But obviously, that's not going to help his custody situation at all. But Ben just seems to be beyond caring about any consequences whatsoever. Unfortunately for him, that ship has also sailed. Because let's be real, someone who opens their live stream trying to clear their name like this.
Do I have your attention now?
Should not be near kids whatsoever. He then spent a significant portion of the stream.
Someone needed to take away the computer. Someone needed to just go in there and unplug everything.
Talking about George Koenig, who he claimed was the mastermind behind some sort of conspiracy to steal his money. However, Ben kept switching between calling George his lawyer and then calling him a criminal, even though that George was actually representing the other side in his legal battles.
Because of George Koenig. George Koenig is a corrupt one. I want everybody to know that. Daniel is just kind of weird. Like, you would not trust your kids with Daniel Norris, okay?
What the fuck? Dude, who wants to bet? He took a bunch of drugs. He took a bunch of drugs before he took a bunch of drugs before he before he did this stream.
Oh, George Koenig? Well, if you're a dude, be careful. But in all seriousness, George Koenig is the mastermind behind layering this from a lawyer perspective to help them do all this and steal all this and get away with it. He's also, I want you guys to think about this. I'm in a current case with CFTC along with Hit Network. And you know who my lawyer is? George Koenig. the court, Judge Marjorie Childs and Special Master of the Loud, or not Marjorie Childs, I'm sorry, Judge Kimberly Childs. I hate that I missaid your name. I'm really sorry, Judge. I believe the judge was involved in this decision that, guys, I lost my train of thought. I said that about the judge and I forgot what I was saying. I'm just going to read.
Then at one point, Ben flat out accuses George of bribing judges, which definitely is not going to help his legal case.
George Koenig, I want a minute on the lawsuit. George Koenig is not a regular lawyer. He is a criminal. He knows the securities laws in and out. You know he knows there's criminals, and he knows how to frame me. He's got to be part of the lawsuit. We have to amend it. My lawyers don't want to do it because they believe he's a lawyer.
Oh my God. Dude, this is fucking comedy gold. This is comedy gold, man.
Lawyer, and they don't want to do it to lawyers, but he's got to be added. Daniel Norris, I don't think Daniel Norris has to be added. I just would not trust my kids around that guy. Oh, God. This article also highlights how Hit Network requested a restraining order against me, painting me as a threat to distract from their asset seizure. You got to understand, here's what they did. So when TJ and them cooed, they went to Akron State Police and told them I was going to kill everybody, and they had to put a cop car in front for several weeks. So I couldn't come into my own building I own 67% of because TJ changed the locks and had a cop out there. And then we went to court and George Koenig bribed the court. I'm sure George Koenig bribed the court and made it where they dropped it in the beginning because they thought they were going to get away with all this until the honorable Judge Kimberly Childs. I love Judge Kimberly Childs. She's so honorable.
Now, another low point of the stream.
Dude, he's just talking about his love for the judge, man. Just love for the judge.
And when Ben, as I mentioned earlier, revealed that he's been using ChatGPT to write parts of his manifesto. Ben also kept trying to use the AI to rewrite articles about himself to make him look even better. And when, I guess, the summaries kept making him look bad, he started arguing with the program like it was a person who was supposed to be helping him.
Give me a 2-paragraph summary of the New York Times article and how it relates to
oh my God, dude. No, never argue with AI. Don't argue with AI, man. This is not the road you want to go down.
Real BitBoy story.
Then, Ben basically admitted to the very thing I mentioned in my original video that sparked his whole lawsuit against me, the pump and dump schemes. For him, the real issue was that I'd accused him of doing a pump and dump, but he claimed his team was doing that behind his back without his knowledge.
The Atozi lawsuit and hidden conspiracy. The lawsuit between me and Atozi initially appeared to be a defamation dispute centered around allegations of crypto pump and dumps. However, the deeper truth revealed a strategic cover-up orchestrated by Hit Network, Justin Williams, and affiliated actors to deflect blame for their financial misconduct into Armstrong. This document exposes the hidden mechanisms behind the lawsuits, actors involved, and the real financial beneficiaries of the PAMP scheme and other similar crypto projects. Me, acted as
So wait, is he saying that like he didn't want to sue Atozi, but like his business partners did, and so as like the face of the brand, he took the blame for it? Is that what
hype man promoting coins without financial access to financial operations. Never had control for wallets, liquidity, or token distribution. This one is actually not true. I did have control of my PAMP wallet. I told you guys if I go through here and something's not true, I did have access over my PAMP wallet, and I can eventually find that wallet and show it to you guys. You'll find I didn't make any money. But here's the important part. In September of 2020, right? So the PAMP was in August of 2020. By September of 2020, TJ comes in. By October of 2020, I have no financial control of the company. I have no access to anything that TJ and his dad, or TJ at first, and then TJ and his dad don't have access to. I sued Atozi for defamation because of his claim. He claimed I was responsible for pump and dumps without realizing it was my own team executing these schemes behind my back.
And at this point, honestly, this just kind of seems like a classic BitBoy move. Nothing's ever his fault, and everyone is against him. There might have been pump and dump schemes happening, but Ben was innocent here.
I lost $5,000 on PAM, something like that. That's not an exact number, but I did not make money. I promise that. And it was, I think it was a week later that I sold it, maybe 10 days after the video, something like that. I didn't sell anything after the video because, guys, I was an idiot like y'all. I thought all these coins were going up. And Justin Williams, these guys were telling me they were going up, and they were dumping them.
Yeah, this is coming from someone who had spent years positioning himself as a crypto expert, telling people which investments, not exactly to make, but what he would recommend, you know, indirectly hinting at buying, all while accepting payments from projects to promote them, and then building his entire brand around being someone who understood the market better than anyone else. And then now suddenly he's saying he was an idiot like y'all when it comes to these shady coins. Dude, I'm not buying that whatsoever. And also, as the stream went on, Ben became increasingly reckless about displaying contact information of state agents. He looked up contact information for the Cobb County Police Department and told his audience not to contact them.
Here's the full Lamborghini extortion call from Carlos to me. You can find it on Twitter. Here's the detailed breakdown. Analysis of Lamborghini extortion call. Cobb County Police. Let's find Cobb County Police contact info. I don't know if anybody cares.
Dude. Brother. Oh, dude. Was his mistress with him? His mistress did not give a single fuck. Oh my God.
If you do care, here's the Cobb County Police Department right here. 545 Fairground Street. Here's their phone number. Don't call them and tie up their phone lines. Don't call 911. Don't make emergencies not be able to get got. If you're from Cobb County, call the police. Go to the police department. Go to their website. Tag them on Twitter. Where's their Twitter? Here, I'll follow them. Hey, Cobb County Police Department.
Then later, he did the exact same thing with another attorney involved in his case, displaying her email address and encouraging her followers to let her know what you think about her attempt to cover up everything.
Where's Lori Dyke? Let's see. What's Lori Dyke's email? Hold on just a second. So you guys can all email Lori Dyke. She go to the court. I'll get in big trouble for saying that we're doing this because the court hates when people hold them accountable. They hate when anybody suggests that maybe someone there is corrupt because the court hates the mention of corruption. They don't hate corruption. They love corruption, but they hate the mention of it. As you know, Cobb County, the worst of all. You guys should email Lori. It's here. I'll put it on Twitter. This is not my account. I don't know whose this is. Have y'all looked into Lori Dyke? She hates when you say her last name too. She hates.
Wait, you're in a Twitter account, but you don't know. But it's not your account. You don't know whose account it is. What? Are you even streaming from your house?
She hates her last name. You guys all email Lori and let her know what you think about her attempt to cover up everything. For me, you'll see it gets much worse.
I mean, at this point, Ben had completely abandoned any pretense of being the victim. Like, he was actively encouraging his followers to harass multiple people involved in his legal proceedings. And the stream continued for another hour, with Ben becoming increasingly erratic and eventually started speaking about his depression while also stating he would never harm himself because of his love for his children.
My kids, man. My kids. I love my kids so much. They think their dad is some kind of villain. He's some kind of crazy, he's might fly off at the handle, do anything at any second. All of a sudden, he's crazy.
The whole stream was just incredibly sad to see. But then,
yeah, this is starting just getting sad, depressing, man. Fuck.
Comes the next act, jail. Because a few days after that live stream, Ben seemed to recognize that he'd gone way too far. He posted a video in which he had a black eye, apologizing to various people, including his ex-wife and his audience, also stating that it wouldn't ever happen.
Who punched him, I wonder? It couldn't be the wife. Not the mistress. No, the business partner wouldn't risk that. Maybe he got into a fight with a random dude and was like, I'm gonna knock you the fuck out.
Happen again, and that he was going to focus on crypto content going forward. But unfortunately, that didn't take too long, because in March of 2025, Ben was arrested in Florida on a fugitive warrant related to charges filed in Georgia. Apparently, he'd been making harassment allegations against the judge in his case. He had fired his lawyer, deciding to represent himself, and threatened the judge on LinkedIn, saying, "Judge Kimberly of Cobb County has ruled against my motion for receivership of Hit Network. This is a decision she will regret for the rest of her life." Threatening a judge might be one of the dumbest things you can possibly do when you're already in multiple legal battles. But apparently, Ben just doesn't care. He was then released about 10 days later, but his behavior did not improve. He then decided to double down on threats against judges and police officers, which led to another arrest in June. And the mugshot of that arrest became pretty infamous because he looked—
yeah, dude, the slow progression. This is why crack is whack. This is what happens when you do crack, guys.
looks like a shell of the man he once was. Eventually, Ben ended up in a psychiatric facility, which was probably the best possible outcome given how his behavior had escalated. One of his former colleagues, a guy who goes by AJ Reichs Crypto, who had tried to help Ben rebuild his channel, wrote a detailed post about what had happened. Drugs, ego, paranoia and a complete disconnection from reality had destroyed Ben's mind. He said Ben was currently in a mental hospital, not prison or rehab, and he had offered to pay Ben to get treatment, but Ben had refused. AJ described it as a tragedy rather than a redemption story, which pretty much sums up how this whole situation played out. The big question now is what happens when Ben gets out of the psychiatric facility? Because realistically, he's currently facing years in prison for all the harassment charges, or a judge might actually rule that he wasn't mentally competent when he made those threats. Then, of course,
I was about to say, you know, a good lawyer can argue for like, well, what was it like? What's the term, like temporary insanity or something? Or, but I don't know. I would imagine he's still going to face some sort of punishment for it.
Since everything about this story keeps getting worse, it does in fact keep getting worse, because remember he was dealing with all these legal problems. Well, he also said some absolute insane stuff about Kevin O'Leary. Yes, you know, the Shark Tank guy. Because Ben spent way too much time claiming that Kevin was responsible for a 2019 boating accident where Kevin's wife was driving when 2 people lost their lives. The accident had been investigated and ruled accidental, with Kevin's wife being cleared of any wrongdoing. But Ben decided it was actually a cover-up and started calling Kevin a murderer on social media. Ben then escalated this to the point where he was doxing Kevin's phone number and encouraging his followers to call him. Eventually,
What
Kevin...
the fuck, dude? Ben, my guy, why you do this?
Ben had enough and filed a defamation lawsuit, which is just incredibly ironic because the guy who filed a slap suit defamation lawsuit against me is actually being sued for defamation, for real defamation. But because Ben is dealing with multiple arrests and his mental health crisis, he never bothered to defend himself in that case, and the judge issued a judgment in Kevin's favor, and the damages will be determined later on this year. Apparently this judgment happened a month ago, but there's no public information of what actually happened to this trial. So Ben lost that on default, but the trials kept going and Ben did not appear. So the last hearing was on October 30th. O'Leary presented 2 witnesses. Armstrong did not appear. So after the hearing, the court requested additional material. So
like, is his lawyer handling? Was his lawyer handling that, and he just didn't bother showing up, or like, was his lawyer not even there to represent the defense?
So even though that Ben didn't show up, they did go forward without him because I guess they're just assuming that he's not showing up, and I'm assuming also he's representing himself, just like his other case. But it seems like the judge has not issued.
That's right. He doesn't have a lawyer anymore. He's in the legal team.
Final written damages judgment yet. Okay, so I just wanted to figure out what was going on with that case real quick. I digress. At this point, it is fairly safe to say that Ben's life might have actually hit rock bottom. The butterfly effect from this initial decision to act inappropriately at his company led to a complete destruction of everything that he built. Because essentially, him acting out completely destroyed his career. He essentially chose to go to war with everyone around him and lost absolutely everything in the process. So right now, hopefully Ben is getting the help he desperately needs. Whether he'll be able to rebuild any kind of normal life after this still remains to be seen, given the bridges he's already burned and the legal troubles he's currently facing. That's definitely not going to be easy for him. It's going to be a real uphill battle. But for the sake of the kids, I really hope that Ben eventually figures out how to get his life back on track. But based on everything we've seen, my hopes aren't too high, because this would actually require him to change his approach to life and actually take responsibility for his own actions, while up until now he's shown no ability to do so. But you know, there's always some time. He was released from jail and he's since returned to YouTube on a new channel and is live streaming daily. But with crypto going into another potential bear market and with the overall hype for crypto tremendously down, that too will definitely be hard to rebuild. This whole saga has just been wild to watch unfold, but it's also an extremely tragic example of how social media fame and money can completely destroy someone's life when they lose sight of what actually matters. Because this guy had everything at one point and he just completely self-destructed. And that's
Damn. First he had the Lambo. Then he doesn't even have the kids. Honestly, that is really sad. That's unfortunate for him. I do feel kind of bad. But we're not done quite yet. So Faugi from the Op Block was streaming the other night, December 5th. And a certain someone called into his stream, and I want to hear how this conversation went. I haven't heard it yet, but I'm curious.
Thank you. And now I'm gonna pull in Internet adjacent as the yes man.
What is going on, everyone?
Okay, you are fucking loud. Okay, so before we go on,
can I say it real quick before we talk about this new information?
Yeah, we're not gonna move on until I hear it.
Yeah. Okay. I will concede that I lied about that link. That is most definitely the one I clicked on. I maintain that I was not aware the server was 18 plus, but I can concede that I definitely lied about that link.
So you lied about the link?
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, wow, I did not need to lie about this at all, and I should not have done that. It's a disservice to you. It's an insult, if anything, and I apologize.
So when you go on stream and you claim I'm pedo jacketing you, is that a lie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like I said, I want nothing more than to apologize for that.
It's fair.
Obviously, I just want to. I was trying to do it yesterday, but obviously, I just want to right the wrongs that I've done in this situation.
Okay. I gotta ask, because you're here as the yes man, is there a specific reason why you would say that you're offline and then you are on an alt that doesn't have access to the rest of your server, by the way?
Because
talking as someone that knows you personally.
Because
oh my god, wait, he's doing the whole like, oh, I know so and so. I know so and so. Bro.
I was just getting flooded with like DMs and messages requests, and I just didn't want to deal with them right now.
Mm-hmm.
That was really it. It feels good to be on a account that is like not getting bombarded with just everyone.
Okay. Now let me ask you this. Now at the end of Himpleton's stream, you mentioned that you are getting help, that you want to move on and things like that. You aren't making content for the foreseeable future.
I said I would cover low stakes dramas, but
no, you said you weren't going to do content for the foreseeable future, man.
It was after the stream when it was me, Z, and Ace talking on the
he didn't say it publicly.
I kind of was like,
okay, but Ace, you're confirming that he did say it afterwards.
Yes, he did say it afterwards.
Okay, so he went back on it the same night. Okay.
I was yeah, I kind of was like, yeah, I don't know about like completely giving up, but yeah, I just want to like.
Okay.
I'll just.
Dude, he just wants to jerk off to furry porn in peace, guys.
Best if I'm not like in the public eye as much as I was before, so I'm gonna lay low and just cover low stakes shit for now.
Okay.
To kind of keep out of the spaces until I can genuinely fix myself.
Okay.
Or until everyone forgets, right? You're hoping everyone forgets that you're the fucking dude.
So, okay. So I know that Himpleton and Ace have now discussed with you these series of recordings that have come out. One of which would be the Alex one that Alex recorded, which is Avalon stating that there was a codename Wildcard, which was they were annoyed with you, and so
I'm sorry, codename Wildcard? What the fuck?
There was a potential to gay op you. Were you aware of Avalon and and Parlo having sexual contact beforehand, or was that ever discussed between the two of them?
This is the first time I'm hearing about it. I heard it through Himpleton.
Okay.
Jesus.
This comes completely out of left field for me.
During the time you were there, because there's the discussions of the threesome, by the way. Who the fuck?
Just remember, this guy actually can't tell the truth. Oh really? Oh, does Falgy Ketchman lies? Does Falgy Ketchman lies? Oh, let's go.
What am I going through, by the way? I hear echoing. It's Ace, that fucking.
I think that's Ace.
It is Ace because he's raped.
Yeah, pretty much. So during the time frame, are there any indications that the two of them are sexually active or interested? Because you guys are in a GC about having a threesome at one time.
So how it went for me is we talked about potentially having the threesome. Then when Avalon asked his partner messaged me and said, "What's this about a threesome? Because personally, I'm not cool with that between like you and him." And I was like, "Okay, that's fine." And that was where I dropped it. I never discussed the prospect of us having sex again.
Mm-hmm. And this is the whole truth, nothing but the truth, right? Like, so help you God, because if I fucking see a DM, like, listen, your credibility is in the fucking dirt, but I gotta be honest.
I understand, but that is the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
I mean, listen. I'll be IA's defense lawyer here for devil's advocacy reasons.
Jerry Jr.
He doesn't have time to come up with a lie right now. You know what I mean? Like he is just now finding out about this.
Yeah,
100%. But like, there's going to be the people in the audience that are asking.
It's true. It's true. I understand.
And I understand that people have every right to doubt every word that comes out of my mouth. So that's why I'm trying. Like I said, I'm genuinely trying to like get better.
I'm trying to get better.
So, So this wasn't brought up to you in the call, and this is an L on Himpleton and Ace, so they both can go fuck themselves. You discussed having children, or potentially having children with
Pardo. I mean, it was kind of like a.
I'm sorry. What? Wait, was this an actual relationship? I thought they were just fuck buddies. This was like a serious relationship? Holy shit. What the fuck?
It was kind of like a gay moment. It was just kind of like it's kind of like retarded.
Yeah, you know, during the gay sexting, we had a gay moment, you know. Yeah, that makes perfect sense, buddy.
But I mean, that's really it. It was just kind of like a.
Well,
I don't know.
The reason I asked this was, what were the indications that your relationship was going to be, or was that serious?
We talked about how we at least wanted to hang out in like October, and then if that went well, when we met up in December, we would get a little more like serious. That was
I mean, serious enough to move him? Like that is incredibly serious.
Yeah, because like this is a very long distance, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
It's like hanging out the kids is a lot.
Yeah. Well, it was already discussed that everyone who's kind of signed to that manager network kind of wanted to move over to the UK anyway. So
what's this manager network? What's it called?
The Zenova, whatever the fuck it's called. I don't know. I'm not a part of it anymore.
You are a 14K YouTuber. The fuck you're doing with a fucking management thing? That sounds like a fucking scam.
The Nova network?
Yeah.
So, and then you were assigned by
Avalon and the other manager, Artica.
Wait, the at the time 17-year-old. The 17-year-old was your YouTube manager. All right, yeah, that checks out. Yeah, perfect, makes perfect sense.
So in the messages, there's an Artica and there's a Avalon. So what you're saying is that
those are two separate people, and they were both my managers.
Oh, they were both. So Avalon did, I assume, like the content stuff, and
Avalon did. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he did the content, and Artica did revenue.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean by revenue? So did he pocket the money? Did he pocket the money, and then he was like, "Oh, okay, so like you made this much this month. Here's a little bit of it." Sorry, if you guys can't tell, you know, I'm not exactly the most successful YouTuber on the planet, so it's like, I don't know. I've never once dealt with anything like this before, so it's just, I don't know. The whole idea of having someone manage your channel for you just seems like seems all blah to me.
You know, because it's been an interesting contention point, because I've talked to a lot of YouTubers, and I'm not gonna lie, A lot of them have laughed at you for being under 100K and having a manager, let alone under 50K.
Yeah, I just it was after I came back from YouTube from a hiatus, I kind of just needed help getting back on track, and I figured that was the smartest way to do it.
Mm.
In retrospect, I probably could have done it alone, but I don't know. I just figured it was the easiest way to do that.
Okay. So moving forward, hearing all of this, what are your initial thoughts?
I mean, this is fucking crazy. This is wild. I've never even. This is fucking news to me. I was in the middle of I was having dinner when I got like a fucking ping from Discord, and I was like, what the hell could this possibly be? And when I saw it was Himpleton, I was like, okay, something happened.
Well, because this is an interesting thing. I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't feel like even Parlo knew about this. Because so like again, doesn't absolve you of any of the things that you admitted to, the fact that you did not have explicit consent for a lot of the things you originally said that you had explicit consent for.
Yeah.
That's really fucking creepy, and you really need to get that settled before you even have sex with another person again, let alone a relationship.
That's why I'm working on myself.
Yeah. But I'll be very honest, it seems very bizarre. This entire thing seems very bizarre.
This is so bizarre.
It's absolutely psychotic, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you know, there's no other way to put it.
Can I add something onto this? And this might be a little bit of a speculation, so if this is crazy, just let me know. But like, we were talking, or not we, but like Jerry went on Beckett's stream the other day and was like, is it possible that like Avalon is covering for Parlo? I mean, I don't think that's too out of the realm of possibility, especially with this.
I mean,
what?
I mean,
it's obvious that there's something, but he was also in my mind this, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, the recordings that you had over a period of days proved that it seemed like Avalon was your go-between between Parlo, that you weren't necessarily directly talking to Parlo when you're talking about a joint.
I had attempted to reach out to Parlo multiple times and was getting, like, after a while of getting no answer, I just figured...
Yeah, motherfucker, he thought that you raped him, and you did do things without his consent. I've never heard of a raper and their, like, the rapist and their rapee creating a joint response together. That is, I'm going to tell you, fucking psychotic.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play this clip by Ace, because Ace had produced this. It is interesting. So let's listen to this.
Just be a bit more careful.
Yeah.
But yeah. I'm not gonna lie though, with just seeing some of the DMs, it does prove that I think he had like a sexual interest, and I think he's like definitely really fucking like weird for that for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you truthfully and honestly. Okay, I'm gonna ask you. I'm not. This is not like a fucking gotcha. This is like legitimately just a fucking ask. Were you sexually interested in Avalon before they turned 18?
No, I've said that throughout this entire thing.
So why is there an immediate after they turn 18? I'm not being like I'm not calling you a pedophile. I'm literally just asking.
Like I said, Avalon asked me about it, and I said no. I was not referring to you at all. I never even.
But you conceded on Himpleton's stream that wasn't the Himpleton. Am I crazy?
No, you're not crazy. That is what happened.
You just you conceded yesterday that was not the case. Now I'm gonna again. If you were attracted to Avalon, that is between you and God. But I'm just asking, were you sexually attracted or attracted to Avalon before they turned 18? Because their thighs were in your server.
And I was not aware of that, and I just after I saw that I was still in there, I went and deleted that because I wasn't even aware of that. When I said I talked about like the whole threesome, I'm referring to like days before, but like in terms of actually proposing that we have a threesome, I did not ask him first. I was not like, hey, so like now that you're 18, you want to have a threesome? I did not do that.
But you did but you did become explicitly sexual with him, like send him nudes and etc. Like
Oh,
days after
he had a timer ready for that shit and everything. He had a countdown on his phone, and as soon as that fucking hit 0, he sent the first nude.
Right.
I did that after he asked about if we wanted to have the threesome anyway.
Well, right, but that was still regardless, like days
Yeah.
after he turned 18,
Yeah,
right?
like understanding how attraction works. Understanding how attraction works. You don't like a light switch doesn't flip the moment they're 18, right? That's not really how that works, right? So what I'm asking you is, was there an attraction before they turned 18? I'm literally not calling you a pedophile. So you're saying no.
So how did it start?
Yeah.
I mean, literally, it was just...
Because, I mean, at that point, you're admitting that, yeah, I'm not attracted to this person, but I want to have a threesome with them anyway, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Just after that, he was like, I mean, I'd be down anyway. And I was like, I mean, I don't know. Because like I said, I was very hesitant when he posed this to me. I was like, I don't know about like the ethics or the morality of this. But he was like, I don't see a problem with it. And I eventually was like, sure, fuck it, why not? Because I don't know,
So, I mean, to be fair, it didn't seem like it took you much convincing, right?
Yeah.
Like, and the other thing, listen, I'll try to give you, like, I'm not giving you an out here, but it's like, I mean, you could make the argument, I guess, that this is like a purely sexual thing. So once you realize that it was an option,
no, it's not like. I mean, I'm not like. I wasn't thinking like, God, like just the way he looks. No, it was just like a sex thing. I was just like, I don't know. I guess it's just a new experience.
So, because people will ask this is going to be a pointed question, but people are going to ask this: was there a change in Avalon's looks from 17 to 18, like the days after?
I didn't receive photos of him before he was 17. I have no idea.
Whoa. That sounds like it's easy to fact check, buddy. Is that your final answer?
So
so you did receive photos when they were 17?
No.
He's saying
You
like
said 18.
before they turned.
Misspoke.
Yeah.
I was going out of my way to avoid, like, when I was getting like phone numbers of people like in our friend circle, I directly avoided getting Avalon and our other friend Crip's numbers because they were 17, and I was like, well, it's kind of weird if I'm like 21 and I have a 17-year-old's phone number. That's really weird.
Okay,
dude, so fucking dude. Like, what's with this friend group of just like, yo, let's just all fucking like send nudes to each other and jerk off? You know who else had that? It was in like the small commentary hell, Spurgy commentary community. That was like fucking Pie Girl and all of their friends. All of them were just fucking like just sending nudes to each other and just jerking off and just exposing each other for sending nudes and jerking off.
Okay. So
wait. It was weird to get their phone numbers at 17, but it wasn't weird to like keep them in an 18+ sexual server at 16.
Yeah.
And what you're saying is you were not aware of what Avalon looked like until they were 18.
I had seen a photo of what he looked like, but not like a sexual photo. Not like anything like that.
You didn't see any of the femboy pictures of him on Twitter that he would post?
I saw the one photo and I told him it was not good for him to post that. I said you should not be posting stuff like that.
Listen here, mister, don't be posting those pictures of yourself. I might like them. that was internet adjacent right there. He was like, listen, mister, don't be posting what I like.
No, I told him in a call. It was like 2 years ago. I unfortunately don't have anything of that.
The only thing I can vouch for there is that he has told me that before.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to like fucking. Again, I'm not trying to pedo jacket you. It's just these are things that people are gonna have questions about.
I know there's a lot of questions I gotta answer.
Because
I'm trying to
just to have like 100% clarification, because that is a little mini contradiction. I don't think you intended to do so or not. Did you or did you not see any pictures at all before 18? Because the femboy picture kind of counts, man.
I mean, I guess technically the femboy picture, but that, like I said, that was the picture I told him, like, you should not be posting stuff like this on social media, man. You're 16.
Okay. So there was an understanding of the femboy picture. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's continue on with this. There's a reason why. Because again, they're saying that there was a threesome message. Oh hey, hypothetical, would you ever want to be in a threesome, in a three-way? And he says, sure. This is you posing the question first, by the way.
Yeah.
This is not Avalon posting it. This is you posing it. Now, I don't care about whatever fucking gay op it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this right here is you posing the question first.
It was me. I was showing what just me and Parlo were talking about. I wasn't trying to like direct that question at him.
Okay, but you conceded to this on my stream, right? Like you mentioning that in Avalon's DMs in the first place.
Yeah, I understand how it would obviously make someone like that feel.
Well, and like Parlo's argument with this is that you're like prepping him for a three-way, and I think that that's too far. I think that's kind of retarded. But like, I do at the very least like agree that it is, you know, first of all, you know, mentioning this sexual topic to him while he's still 17, and it's also like, I mean, why would you send that to him unless there's some kind of like, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's definitely incredibly irresponsible of me, and I really...
How hard is it not to be weird on the internet? How hard is it, guys? Tell me. How hard is it not to act like this?
I really should not have done that. I mean, like I said, I wasn't directing that at Avalon. We were talking about like what like each of us are okay with and like the bounds of our relationships, and that was really what that was.
Well, no.
Obviously,
No, those are two different things, because that you told unless that happened when he was 17. Now that happened when he was 18, according to like your original testimony, like what was okay in the bounds of relationship talk.
Well, I mean, we talked about it multiple times.
But you did talk about what was okay in a relationship with a 17-year-old.
Yeah, because he had like a unique relationship dynamic with his partner, and I'd never heard of something like that before.
It's an open relationship. Yeah. The question. So I'm going to ask you this: did you guys discuss sex in these conversations about relationships?
Yeah.
While he was 17.
Not like explicitly, but we discussed the topic of it. Not like...
That's like...
Yeah.
I'm trying to be kind, right? Like I'm actually trying to like, I'm looking at the Avalon stuff, and while you and I have issues, and we're not friends by any means.
I mean, I understand that.
like the reality is, why are you having conversations about sex and relationships? And I'm not doing the age gap thing, but like, it's a 17-year-old. This is your fucking channel manager. This is someone that you've known since they were 16.
Yeah, like on top of that, right? Like to add to his point, this is someone you have although it's like you shouldn't have had it in the first place. This is someone you have a business relationship with. Is this just how you act with like all your friendships, where it's like all your friendships are sexual in nature? I mean, listen, if you have one or two friends that are actually like fuck buddies of yours, you know, live your life. But like, it seems like the more we learn about this guy, the more it seems it's just like eventually, if you're a guy and you're friends with him, he is going to try and fuck you eventually.
And you're you're claiming that you're like, oh, you shouldn't post these femboy photos, but then you're talking about them about their relationships and sex. Why are you doing that?
I don't really have a good explanation.
Yeah, you don't. You don't, because you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. That's what the fuck you are.
Very irresponsible of me, and I.
Well, you could
like
try.
I said, I mean, I should not have done that.
Well, but Avalon, I mean, fuck, sorry. Like, you told me that, like, you never discussed anything, like, sexual, and the only thing that you did was, like, send the three-way message, and, like, if you're discussing relationship dynamics and, like, talking about sex when he's still a 17-year-old, that's explicitly, like, talking about sexual topics, right?
Yeah. I mean, we just talked about, like, what is okay in regards to that, I guess. That
In regards to sex?
Like, yeah.
What? Why?
And wait, you did this apparently with no attraction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no attraction. To be clear, no attraction. He just casually has sex with people he's not attracted to. So, is this like some form of hypersexuality? Like,
bro, like you don't understand like how like
are you a
like,
sex addict? Is that it? Hypersexuality, sex addict? What the fuck are you, man?
You're on like no bullshit. You do understand how unbelievable that sounds because you're talking about sex. You're talking about relationship dynamics. Something that I know you have probably made videos on about adults of any variety having those conversations with minors. You fucking no, fuck you for a second. Courtney Pete, you made a video about Courtney Pete, and we all said that was fucking disgusting. And then not only like days after they turn 18, like this is a conversation that's being had. Like you do understand the level of fucking insanity that is. Like it's not just irresponsible, it's just downright you're fucking thicking with your dick.
Yeah. It's that's not great. I mean, there's not really much else I can say about it. It's just not. It wasn't very good of me.
So just for a clear.
Guys, I gotta admit, that was my bad. That was my bad, guys.
Record, just to re-ask it again. Did you or did you not have a sexual attraction to Avalon before they were 18?
Did not have a sexual attraction to Avalon. Like I said, I did not.
But the minute they turned 18, oh, all right, let's have a sexual relationship.
Discuss having sex with him. We just talked about like the general idea, which isn't very great.
You didn't talk about having sex with him specifically, but you talked about what's okay during sex.
No, we talked about like not what's okay like during sex. We talked about like what is like allowed in like an open relationship, because genuinely I'd never heard of that shit before. So
You've never heard of an open relationship before. Uh-huh. Sure, buddy. Sure. Yeah, you just watch you just watched commentary content. You were just in the furry community. Yeah. You've never heard of open relationships before. It's such a foreign fucking concept.
Heard of an open relationship?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Brother, you're in the fucking furry community. All they do is suck and fuck. Like, come on. Like, I'm brother.
You went to a sex club. You went to a sex club during the internet. Like, what the fuck?
Like, okay. Again, somebody asks in the chat.
He's just like, oh, no, this is probably what he was like. Oh, an open relationship, you say? I have never heard of that before. Tell me the details and what your partner is and isn't okay with you doing. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. He was fishing.
I am going to say this. Why would you ask a minor? Yes, they are 17, but why would you ask a minor about relationship dynamics?
I don't know. I don't have an explanation for that.
Do you have an example of these conversations with Avalon where you guys like maybe discuss the dynamics and where the topic maybe broached sexual interactions that people can see that it is maybe just purely clinical?
It was. Because we were talking about like what is like I like I said, I'd never heard of that like relationship dynamic before, and it was when he was trying to explain it, it's like, yeah, like we date each other, but like we can still like have sex with like other people. And I was like, really? That was like the extent of, and then I was like, I mean, I'd like to do something like that with Parlo maybe, but I don't know if he's cool with that.
Is that why maybe like for instance, right? Is that why Avalon would be a good choice for the threesome because of his open status?
I did not ask Avalon.
Okay, we've gone back and forth on this. You conceded to this on Himpleton. We're not doing that, right? I'm not arguing that. What I'm asking is, did Avalon's open status maybe make you feel more comfortable about the threesome? I'm just asking you as a person to person. I'm not trying to get you in a gotcha. Like, do you feel like that may have impacted how the accessibility of it may have felt?
He was just like someone who was just very confident with that lifestyle, and I figured I could confide in him about this. And looking back, it's not exactly the wisest move of mine.
You felt like you were learning from Avalon essentially, right? Like he was.
Yeah,
it sounds like he was like mentoring you in
the child. You see, the minor was mentoring him.
Open relationships.
Well, not like mentoring me. I'd never heard of it, so I was like, well, what's? And it's not even like open relationships. They have like something else entirely. That's why I was like, I have no idea what this is.
I see.
I mean, it's still not great, no matter what. Obviously.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. It is.
It is.
It's quite bad.
Yeah.
This is actually cooked. I'm not trying to like fucking scare you. I've said this repeatedly. Your mental health journey is your own mental health journey.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I've been saying this throughout this whole situation. I mean, it's very obvious I've made quite a lot of mistakes, and that's why I could just sit here and fucking argue with every single person about how I'm like completely innocent, but that would just be like bullshit. So instead of doing that, it's best if I do take time to actually reflect and work on myself and actually change all the issues that I have, so that.
But then why return to content immediately?
Right.
I gotta push back on that. Why? Because
it's just to keep the channel from dying completely. That's why I wanted to cover like low stakes drama or just shit that wasn't really mainstream.
Your channel won't die, man. Like
I know.
Your channel's gonna die if you continue to just crash and burn like this.
I don't know. I get worried about it, man.
Dick.
I mean, okay.
You should be worried about yourself, man. This is YouTube. Who fucking cares? Who cares about this shit?
I'm gonna be like, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna be like legit for a second. I'm gonna tell you something like straight up and legit. Someone's gonna listen to this stream just like they saw Parlo with the dupe situation and get the fucking bright idea to probably call the cops on you. Yeah. And I don't agree with that. I'm making that very fucking clear right now. I'm making that 100% clear that I do not agree with that. But like, you are running the risk by constantly posting that someone's going to be emboldened enough to say, I think this guy's a pedophile, and try to do shit to you. Like, I'm not even fucking around with you.
Yeah, I understand that.
And like, I don't see the benefits. Like, listen, if you want to fucking make content, I actually don't give a shit, right?
Yeah.
But I don't see the benefit of posting through it right now when this, even if Avalon was trying to quote gay up you, right? Like, let's just say that for a second. if Avalon has messages of you guys speaking this way, and I'm hoping for the love of God that you didn't fucking delete them, and they're not one-sided talking about sex, prep, fucking sucking and fucking. I don't know what the fuck you guys would have talked about, right?
Yeah.
And he is underaged. That is going to be the problem.
No, yeah.
Yeah, this guy's fucked. These guys fucked, man. There's, I don't know. I don't see him coming back from this. I really don't. What started out as like an awkward, like two gay dudes talking about an awkward sexual encounter they had, spun into like this guy has a massive sex addiction.
Yeah, I understand. Like I said, there aren't any messages like that.
You better pray to God. You better pray to God, man, that no one's gonna pull anything up. Who knows? Maybe someone's already pulling stuff up as we speak.
Like, can I just say real quick too? Like, all of this aside, right? Like, because this is just like unbelievably cooked. But like, all of this aside, every single one of us in this call does not matter. Okay, this is YouTube. This is YouTube drama. Okay, that is what we've been talking about. And like,
I know, that's
obviously,
why-
your actions themselves are criticizable. But just listen for a second. Like, obviously, your actions themselves are criticizable. Obviously, like that part matters and stuff like that. But like, dude, your fucking channel does not matter, dude. Like, what matters is you need to get better. Okay,
Yeah.
because like genuinely, not from like a content farming perspective, from a purely just like human to human thing, like you like you are cooked, man. Like you have to get better. Like you are doing very badly.
I mean, that's why I wasn't even originally going to hop on here. I like I said yesterday was probably the last time I was going to talk about this, and then you guys were like,
think
"You should
it's-
definitely get on."
No,
But-
no, to be fair, it's good that you're like clarifying stuff on here because this is new stuff with Avalon like saying all
Yeah.
of this stuff. I'm just purely talking about you like talking about like immediately returning back to content and being worried that your channel is gonna die. Your channel doesn't matter.
I know.
Also, let's be honest. Having a channel called Internet Adjacent is pretty cringe. I think you can rebrand and have a better name. But no, like I mean, in all seriousness, like there's just this guy has he's ruined whatever career you could say he had.
I said it on your stream yesterday. I do have a therapy appointment tomorrow that I'm going to.
I'm
So
going to
it's not
therapy,
like-
guys. Well, this is the thing, right? Therapy should be between you and your therapist. And if there's another person involved, then, to your significant other. We don't need to know that you're going to therapy, in all honesty. Because, like, for all I'm aware, you could just be bullshitting right now.
It's not like I'm just saying I'm trying to work on myself and then not actually doing that.
Yeah, but
I am genuinely trying to actually get better.
Yeah, but like you do understand how therapy works, right? Like therapy
Yeah, I know.
is like
it's not just
it's a process.
Yeah, it's not just like I just go in and instantly get fixed. I know it's a time process.
And I'm not gonna lie, there are people, because I just saw somebody said it, that like they feel like they're connecting the dots between you and your past relationships. Now, obviously, 1917. I understand the previous relationship where you tried to get nude photos from a previous relationship, and if those were sent, they would have been CSAM, Romeo and Juliet laws, yada yada yada. But like, there is a pattern of sexually deviant behaviors that I'm gonna be honest are getting you into serious trouble.
Yeah.
And I don't know what your friend group looks like right now. I don't not that I give a fuck. But it doesn't seem like they're fucking old enough. Right?
Yeah.
Like if your friend group was, you fought a 17-year-old, you fought all these people, it makes me look at Parlo sideways too, to have all these people in his life too, and Parlo's got his own shit.
In that friend group, it was kind of like most of us were like 19 or older. The only two that were like 17 were Avalon and Crypt, but everyone else was like 19 to 22.
So everyone is 19 to 22 except these two people.
Yeah.
I see. And you had met Avalon first before meeting Parlo, correct?
I met Avalon through Vexium, who I'm sure is a character we've talked about. And I met Spar, Crypt, and Avalon through him.
Didn't you say that Vexium like groomed Avalon?
That's what Avalon told me. He felt he was.
Jeez. Oh my god.
Was groomed by Vexium.
Are you doubting that now? Because it's the
No,
way that
I'm
you
not
just phrased
doubting that. I'm not doubting that at all.
Okay, are you sure you're not doubting that? Because he also said that Avalon also said that you groomed him as of one day after your response.
Are you sure? Are you sure you want to be backing up this guy's claims? I mean, he did say you were grooming.
Response video. He called you a groomer.
Yeah.
Dude is stun locked. He doesn't know how to respond. He doesn't know.
I didn't even think of that.
Oh God, I didn't think of that.
Because he is calling you a groomer. And again, I'm not discounting anything that Avalon has gone through. I want to make that very fucking real. That is not the doubt I'm casting on it. But I don't know, man. It is the way you said it and what Himpleton just said, like we have to ask you, like, he called you a groomer gooner, as Cloudy would say.
I didn't even think of it like that.
Oh my god.
How did you think of it?
Well, because the entire time when I'd been talking to him, I'd constantly go like, was I like ever like inappropriate or anything like that towards you? And I sent the clip to Himpleton like multiple times. He told me, no, you weren't predatory. Like this claim is just coming out of nowhere. So when he then went and said this, it just took me by surprise completely because he'd been telling me the opposite.
Well, I mean, that's another thing that does need to be brought up, right? Like, what was with like the kind of strange, like, silences and cuts from that?
I was getting the clips. I mean, I can post the whole calls if need be.
All right. I honestly, I don't think we need to listen to more of that because it's just like the guy, he's cooked. He's cooked, and he's never. I think he's not going to recover from this. I think he's going to spiral. I think he's going to end up like a Jalen, where like this guy like breaks down and like just constantly and just like has moments where it's like, oh guys, I'm doing really well, and then like something bad happens. But before we leave, though, I want to thank all the lovely members of this channel. First off, we gotta thank Pigeon Salad for being a Super Nerd 3, the $9.99 tier, which absolutely insane, man. Thank you so much for all the support you give to the channel, man. It's highly appreciative. Then we got the Super Nerd 2s, which are Kangaloo, Killjoy 40K, Kiko, Barrel, Starbird, Kylie Aesthetics. Yeah. Zero Core, Kevin Z, I Like Minna, Mysterious K. Sorry, the list keeps bumping up. Glenn's Butt is one. And then we gotta thank the Super Nerd ones, which you can join, fun fact, for just 99 cents. Oh, sorry, Barrel was a Super Nerd one. I don't. All right. Anyway, Nintendo Man, Weird Collar Guy, Ghoul Anime Girls, Wookie Z, Kicking the Swede, Neon, Lady Nerd Artist, K-Huck, Daniel, and Annie. Thank you guys so much for all the support you show the channel. Sorry for me having to step away, taking care of a call earlier. I do seriously apologize about that. But hope you guys have a good rest of your day. And remember, don't do what Internet Adjacent did.